So allow me to introduce myself. I am, in fact, the world's most interesting man.
Don't you get it, man?
Welcome to a new episode of True Be Talking. I am your host, True, and in this episode, I gotta talk about the big fight, the first big fight card of the year that's coming up on February 22nd, The Last Crescendo. Yeah, we got a big one coming up. This card has 6 fights on it. 4 of them I'm gonna talk about because 4 of the fights really piqued my interest. I'm really excited about. I'm planning on watching all 6 fights, but the 4 I'm going to talk about are 4 that are, I'm really ready to see. First of all, I just want to say, big undercard, big fight card. The only issue I have with this card is the fact that it's in Saudi Arabia and the fights for us are going to start at 10 a.m. That is crazy. It's pretty much, but because of how many fights there is, the fight is going to pretty much go all day. But nobody wants to be waking up at 9:30, 10 o'clock in the morning to try to watch some boxing. But I guess that's what I got to do this time around. So we're going to get into it. So I'm going to talk about this fight first. Vergil Ortiz versus Israel Madrimov. That's the first fight on this card that I'm really excited about. Vergil Ortiz, of course, his last time out, he fought against Serhij Bohachuk, which I personally feel he lost that fight. I feel like Serhij was robbed in that one. Vergil Ortiz, looks like he had some really big punches, but Serhij Bohachuk kept him off balance. He was able to, hit him way more than Vergil Ortiz was able to hit him. And I personally feel like, even though it was kind of a close fight, I think Vergil Ortiz lost that fight. Israel Madrimov, of course, his last time out was against Terrence Crawford. Bud Crawford, of course, I'm a Bud Crawford fan, but in that fight, Israel Madrimov gave him all he could handle. I think that's one of the worst fights Bud has been in, or at least one of the worst showings I've seen him. It seemed that Madrimov was able to keep him off balance, was able to throw off his rhythm. He couldn't really figure him out. Bud had a really hard time figuring him out. So ever since that fight, I've been waiting to see Madrimov back in action. I feel like he's a really good fighter. I think this is going to be a really good test for him against Vergil Ortiz. Vergil Ortiz, of course, a big puncher. Definitely going to be in there looking to get a knockout, looking to score a knockout. My prediction for this fight, I'm going with Israel Madrimov. I think his footwork, I think his hand speed, his strength. I think he has a lot that makes him a complete boxer. And I think it's going to make him really tough to beat. So this is going to be cool to see. I want to say one of his first big, he's only got like 14 professional fights. He had a huge amateur background, but a lot of fights in his amateur time, but only, I think, 14 professional fights. I think he's 13-1 at this point. So it's going to be cool, really cool to see him back in there, see what he's going to be able to do with Vergil. The next fight I'm going to be talking about, that's on this undercard. This is going to be a really good one. It's Shakur Stevenson versus Floyd Kid Austin Schofield. I think that's how you say his name. This one is going to be lit. This is going to be a really good fight. One thing, we're going to get to see Shakur back in action. He hasn't been back in the ring since he beat up Artunian back in 2024, I think, last year when he beat up the Artunian guy. Personally, in that fight, I know a lot of people said it was boring, and he didn't. They say he did a running around and all that, but no. In that fight, he stood in the pocket. He hit Artunian with everything but the kitchen sink. The guy just didn't go down. You know what I'm saying? He just didn't get the knockout. But that fight, he stayed in that pocket. He didn't, run too much out of the pocket where he was, dodging punches, but also not able to throw anything back. In that fight, he was able to throw things back and he was able to land. I think with Kid Austin, like I usually do, go back and watch a couple fights from someone, especially if I've never seen him in the ring. Schofield, I haven't really watched any of his fights, but I went back and watched a couple from him. I watched him fight Mercado and I watched him fight Garone. Both of those fights, what I seen from him is he's good fighting on the front foot when he's stepping forward. He's okay on the back foot, but not as good. He is open to be hit, especially when he's fighting on the back foot. Even when he's stepping forward, there's still a chance he can get hit. I think he prefers to step forward and apply pressure. Not sure if that's the angle or the route he's going to take against Shakur. I would say that will be his best chance, is to pressure Shakur. But of course, we all know Shakur Stevenson, one of the best defensive fighters in the game right now. He knows how to get out of there. He knows how to stay off the ropes. And even though, people say that he's not a big puncher, but he does punch, and he will, he can hit you with something that can get you off of. So it's going to be interesting to see if Schofield's going to be able to adjust. I've seen reports or seen, people talking about how they feel like it was a little too early for him to go up against Shakur, which, I mean, honestly, just from the two fights I watched from him, it does look like he's coming in a little too early for Shakur. But I mean, what better way to test out how you look? So why not go up against the best, especially if you feel like you're the best? I think this is going to be a good fight. I don't see a knockout happening, but I do see Shakur winning. I see him winning a unanimous decision in this fight. Can't think of any reason why he wouldn't win this fight. Like I said, Schofield, he looks good. I just don't think I know he's going to be applying pressure. I don't think that pressure is going to be able to get to Shakur. I think he's going to be able to, with his defense, be able to just keep him off of him, serve him up, give him enough, hit him enough to where he wins the fight. And I think he's going to do it he's going to do it in a unanimous decision type thing. So yeah, that's going to be a good fight. But my official prediction for that one is I got Shakur. The next fight here, Daniel Dubois versus Joseph Parker. This is a heavyweight fight. It's going to be a really good fight. I went back, of course. When I went back and watched a couple of fights from Joseph Parker. I watched because I had already seen Dubois fight Anthony Joshua. I watched that ass whooping, and then I went back and watched him in one other fight. Just based off of what I've seen from both fighters, this is one of those, the boxer, Joseph Parker, going up against a puncher and Daniel Dubois. I personally feel Joseph Parker will be able to outbox Dubois. But of course, as we all know in boxing, all it takes is one punch. And Dubois can definitely deliver one punch that can change a fight. I see personally, I think Parker, with his skill, being patient, finding his spots, being able to, even though he can take a punch, even though when he fought against Zhang Jili, hit the mat a couple times, but that's the big bang. He catch your ass just right, you're going down, but he ended up still winning that fight. So that should let you know, he got knocked down twice and still won the fight. That lets you know how good of a boxer he actually is. He's able to get in there, pick his spots. Of course, Zhang didn't really work as much, and he kind of just outworked Zhang. I'm not sure if he'll be able to just outwork Daniel Dubois, because Dubois does throw quite a few more punches than Zhang. He also, the main issue I have with Dubois is that he takes punches. He can take them, but he can get hit a lot. He doesn't have really good head movement. So he's really gonna be right there for Joseph Parker to hit. And I think Parker is gonna hit him. I think Parker will be able to stay out of the way of any big blows. that Daniel Dubois will be able to send him. So my prediction for this fight is Joseph Parker. I got Joseph Parker winning this fight. I think he'll win it. I think he'll win it unanimously. I think it'll be a unanimous decision for Parker. But of course, that remains to be seen. I can't wait to see that fight. It is going to be really, 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 really good. And now for the main event, Beterbiev versus Artur Beterbiev versus Dmitry Bivol. Rematch. This is what we are here for. The rematch. The first time they fought, I watched that fight twice. I watched it live. I like to watch the fight twice. The first time live, I don't really keep score. I just watch the fight and I base who I think wins based off of what I'm seeing in the fight. And then the second time I go watch it, I actually keep my score. So first time I watched this fight, the original fight, I felt Bivol won. Because, just going based off the boxer, and the boxer looked good throughout the fight. I feel just watching it that first time, he I felt like he won out, but I felt like it was really close. Both times I watched it, it was really close. But the first time I watched the fight, I felt like Bivol might have edged him out. I went back and watched it the second time. This time, I actually keep the score based on who I felt won each round. And when I went back and actually get my score, to my surprise, Beterbiev won. And I think what ended up happening is in those later rounds, after the sixth round, Bivol started to slow down. He started slowing down. Beterbiev's punches started taking their toll on him. He wasn't throwing out as many punches in some of those later rounds, especially the championship rounds 10 through 12. I gave all three of those to Beterbiev. Bivol was good, but he just wasn't good enough to win that fight. This time around, I think he's probably going to switch it up a little bit. I think he's going to try to find a way to be a little more active in those later rounds, possibly by not being as active in the early rounds. Not sure how this is going to work out for him. Beterbiev, I know he's the puncher, big puncher, but he's also a boxer. And I think that's one thing that a lot of people didn't look for out of him, or they underestimated him for, is actually being a good boxer, not just a big puncher. Knowing how, having patience, knowing how to pick his spots, and knowing that it's because of his strength, because of the power of his punches, he knows that if I just hit your ass, if I just hit you in your arm, I hit you in your chest, I ain't even gotta hit you in your damn face. Just hit you. If I can make contact, if I just keep punching your arms are gonna get tired. You're not gonna be able to hit me anymore. And I'm just gonna come in and take advantage. And I think just the weight of his punches. I don't know how strong this man is and how he got so strong, but just you could see that his punches started to wear down Bivol in that last fight. Just the accumulation of taking those punches, he didn't have it anymore. It gassed him out. So interested to see what adjustments Bivol is going to make to come in and try to win this one. I personally think, for my prediction, I have Beterbiev winning. Again, I have him taking the rematch. And it's not only because of his power, but because, like I said, he's a boxer. He's smart with his power. He knows what to do. He knows how to win that fight when he gets in there. I think it's going to be a really great fight. But I do have Beterbiev winning this one. Again, this might be a split. If he goes to the cards, it's definitely going to be a split decision. I feel it may go to the cards again. I don't think he'll be able to wear down. Let me not say that. He may be able to wear down Bivol enough to where he can get him up out of there. But just based off of what I know about Bivol and what I've seen from him, it's probably going to go to the cards. And I think Beterbiev will get a split decision this time around. Those are my predictions for those 4 fights. There are 2 other fights going on. Like I said, they're still going to be good fights. I'm just not big on those, but I am going to watch it. I'm down for any boxing. But let me know what you think in the comments. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Make sure to go to skylinerepublic.com/store. Pick up your merch. Before I get up out of here, of course, Gotta take my shot. I'm not doing the single barrel on Canaris, because that there is a beast. Shout out to the Canadians, man. Get some of this crown, bro. I ain't got no beef with y'all. Please do not take the crown away. I need my Canadian whiskeys. Yeah, this Saturday is gonna be lit. Even if I gotta get lit throughout the day. Start at 10 a.m. But, you know, it is what it is. Love yourself. Love each other. Fuck the hate. Drink some. And, again, man, this is your boy True. See y'all on Saturday, bro. I'm out.
Good and terrible.
In my room, sometimes I stare at the wall, thinking of ways to get paid. Man, ain't no feelings involved. I got no bitch on my mind. I got some stress on my chest. Shit, I got bills and some debt. Sometimes it's hard to feel blessed. I keep my mind on my goals and I keep my eyes on the prize. I keep a milk chocolate chick with big tits and thick thighs. One roll on the table and I got a glass full of Crown. I gave her vodka and gin. Now all I drink on is